Hi everybody, welcome back to Gommie's workshop, everybody peeps. Another crazy instalment of my sideways thinking emporium. For people that don't know me and don't know what I'm about, I do sideways out the box thinking for pretty much everything, including life. But in this situation, paint markers. And some people said, "I saw it on the camera!" That's a standard paintball marker. We all know and love them. It's been with us a long, long, long time. It does its job perfectly well, but it can do its job a whole lot better. Main thing, which is a bit of a mother, is how long they are. And that great big bloody hopper was sitting on top. Right, boy. So, I'll tell you what I've done to get around this, okay? So, normal hopper, centre feed. So I thought, hey, what about going back to side feeds? And for a while I did that 45-degree thing, and then with some more thinking we've gone on to a 90-degree system. This is quite an old one actually. This is an Ion SP1 hybrid. It's got a rip clip on the side, feeds directly into the bridge at 90 degrees. This one is actually fiberglassed in place and epoxy resin. There's actually quite a lot of man hours that go into making this. Mainly due just to that sort of bonded joint. It has to be absolutely perfect, millimetre perfect, so when the paint's feeding, it's absolutely bang on. So, you've seen that one. I then sort of moved on to these bullpup shapes. This is nice, this lets me get the gun in my shoulder, and the bottle's in my shoulder, not in my armpit, not in my bloody elbow. And with a mask on, I can get behind the marker, okay? So at no point, you know, if I'm doing all that, which I hate to see people doing, parallax error, but I'm not going to go into it because most of you don't even know what it is. I'm not patronising. So you can get behind this, diddle-em, 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 diddle-em. I can sight down the centre of the barrel. That barrel centre data is absolutely perfect. My feed system's on the side. A rip clip again, yes, that is a tack cat, and no, I'm not a great fan of them, but it was all I had to put on there. I did have one of those nasty BT hoppers. Yeah, it's a hopper, it holds a lot of paint, but it stands up here. It's too big for me. But as you can see the general idea where this was going. So we've moved from, you know, sort of this to this. Now, scratching my head again, I want to make them smaller still, but I want to cut down the man hours. Just drop these down here. Now, SP1 body, as you can no doubt tell, anybody who owns an SP1, with a mechanically mounted rip clip on the side. Now that's actually bolted in place. I can unbolt that, take it off for cleaning, I can get to the internals of the SP1. Not that you really ever have to with an SP1 because, in my personal opinion, for the money, they're fantastic. I can't even go through how many boxes of paint I have shot out my SP1 hybrid and not had a single break. And the cool thing is, you turn this little bit and the bolt comes out in your hand. How fantastic is that? This particular one is going to be an SP1 Ion hybrid bullpup. That will sit like that when it's done. If you want proofs or if you want to see pictures of the kind of work that I do here, come and see us over on ukscenario.com. It's a paintball site. It's run by two fantastic guys called Tim Boy and Al, and you know, they let me have my own little section on there, which I really appreciate. It's in the armoury section. It's called Gommie's Workshop. Okay, so you've seen this one. I've done the same thing for an iron. I've been doing these for a while now, but I just wanted to get up close and personal and show you that. Believe it or not, that just sits on top of there, like that. Puts my hopper on the side. But of course, as you've seen, I actually mount these further back. But again, trying to cut down the hours and trying not to freak people out. People are scared of anything new. They don't want to buy something if the guy playing next to them hasn't got it, or they only want what they see on ESPN, you know, super sub here guys running around 7 feet, old bling guns. Don't get me wrong, I love all that, I love watching stuff there, but move on fellas. Okay, so what have we got? Now, going back to the centre feed design again. So from there upwards, you're all comfortable with that. That's a normal paintball marker with a centre feed. No one's going to be scared of that. I can also pop it into my shoulder. My mask doesn't touch the gun, and it's nice and compact. I'll show you my super trick barrel now as well. Now, loads of people claiming they make the best barrels in the world. This is one of my signature series barrels. It's what I call a stepless design. It uses an old school South African arms in the front with a polygroove rifling. It's much more gentler on paint. And then what I do is I make tiny little freak inserts. Basically that's just a freak insert which has been cut down. I've then counterbored this, matched it to the barrel. Because I can adjust how tight this sits with the paint, effectively it makes the barrel longer because it makes it more efficient. So I can have a short barrel, what am I going to say, what's that? 6 inches? Yes, missus, it's absolutely true. But that's a 6-inch barrel going on 10-inch barrel. Because that insert's a little bit smaller, I can run it a little bit tighter, and it's a little bit more gentle on the paint. Plus these are they're quite low on the pressure. Let me give you an idea. This is just a basic everyday compressor. You've probably got one of these in your garage for pumping up the tyres on your mountain bike. My compressor here runs 90 psi to 110 psi. There's no paint in this. This has been checked before this video, okay? Just switch the eyes on. That's it! That's just so nice! Oh god, I feel all Gaddafi now. Can I say that? Okay, so we've seen that one. I've managed to pull the whole back and body back here by about, we've got about 3.5 inches pulled back. So I've lost 3.5 inches off. If I had a longer barrel, of course it would be further back. Now, that barrel is actually here, okay? Just to give you an idea of how far everything's moved back. But I haven't moved it back so far that, you know, it interferes with what's going on. So, effectively, you can still stake that out and place stuff out. And it's quick to point. Okay? So, I'm going to show you something else I've done along these lines. You can probably see it in the background. Let's dump this down here. I'm not throwing things over my shoulder this time. Here's another concept on that whole idea. But before I start, do you realise that? That's an auto-mode crown point. I've made that into a little freak tip. Remember these with the sexy ring every time you pull the trigger? Oh, Tom K, man, you've got, you know, you're a god. You're just my mentor. These are just so sweet. And I happen to think that just looks so nice on there. Anyway, it's not exactly what I wanted to show you, but it is nice, you've got to admit. Again, 3.5 inches further back, I can get behind the marker and move around. But look how much height I've lost in that profile. How many times have you been shot in the hopper? How many times you've been at a sub-air game and see players shot in the hopper on the top? You know, one ball's bounced off and the next ball's broken. If they'd had my hopper system on there, the balls would have gone over the top. You would have been in the game for longer. You might even have won. But how's that? Is that nice or is that nice? So that's pretty much a standard rotor. The rotor's not been modified at all. The body, the iron body here has been modified, and the fire chamber has been modified. So basically the feed stub of the rotor is now actually sitting completely in the fire chamber. Quite clever. There'll be more on this, again, as I just said, on the UK scenario site. If you want to come along and have a look at my workshop section, you're more than welcome to do so. That's about all I've got for you today. Anything else? Anything else to show you? No, there isn't. By the way, YouTube, you ain't throwing this music up.